Alright guys, today I want to talk about something a bit different than usual on this channel, and if you're a longtime viewer of the channel you probably know that I already own a couple of these, but I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time, so I thought, hey, I might as well just do it. And that is a retrospective on Laserdiscs. Now, Laserdiscs were released in 1978 to compete with VHS and Betamax, and I'm sure you guys all know what VHS is. But Betamax was basically just kind of a competitor to VHS, and it was of very similar quality. They were both tape based, but yeah, you guys, if you want to know more about Beta, just search it up. I think Wikipedia has a pretty good page about it. But back to Laserdiscs. They were initially released in 1978, and it was at first they called it DiscoVision, and it saw a couple other names while it was, out on the market, until they finally settled with Laserdisc a couple years after it was released, and then that's what they called it up until it was discontinued. It was the first home video format to use Laserdisc technology, which means taking a laser and having it read a disc like this, and it really paved the way for DVDs and eventually Blu-rays. And although the format did have a lot more advantages over VHS, it just, it didn't do well, and it didn't really catch on. And the VHS basically dominated the market. And, it was mostly just because VHS tapes and VCRs were just a lot cheaper than Laserdisc players and their discs. And it kind of just, it just kind of became a niche format, for videophiles or people who really like to have the best quality possible, because Laserdiscs truly had better quality over VHS and even, Beta. But yeah, even though it didn't win over VHS, it still supported up till the early 2000s. Like VHS, they were both kind of, they kind of went up until, the DVD came out, and then they just kind of fell off the face of the earth. But basically, Laserdiscs are 12-inch discs. They're very similar to vinyl records in their shape and the way they're packaged. They both have sleeve-like cases. Unlike DVDs, almost every Laserdisc is going to be double-sided. And, they're going to have information on both sides. And this is just due to the low capacity on the Laserdiscs. Basically, a Laserdisc could hold either 30 or 60 minutes on each side. There's different compressions for why that is, and the discs that hold 30 minutes on each side are called CAV discs, and they have some unique features like slow motion. You can even skip to any frame using a frame number, and you can even go frame by frame. So there are a couple of cool discs out there that use that. The more common compression, like this one, this is a Blazing Saddles disc, it's CLV, which stores 60 minutes on each side. And these really only had the basic features of Laserdiscs, like pause, fast forward, rewind. But a cool thing about Laserdisc is they introduced chapter select, and all their discs had chapter select on that. So that was a cool feature at the time. Now it's kind of a common thing, but at the time it was really awesome. Like I mentioned earlier, Laserdiscs have significantly better video and audio quality than VHS. Although most Laserdiscs are completely analog, sometimes, especially after the mid-'80s, they started putting digital sound on a lot of these, so that's another fun fact. With scratches and wear, the disc's video and audio do tend to decrease, but they don't get worse with each viewing like VHS. With good care, they usually stay in good condition like a DVD or a Blu-ray. They won't reduce in quality. Plus, if part of the disc gets damaged, say you just got like a huge scratch in the middle of it that's only affecting a certain part, you can usually skip past that part, and it won't become unplayable like a lot of DVDs do. If you've ever scratched a DVD and you try and play it, usually once it gets to that scratch, it will not play. You can't even skip it. It just kind of freezes everything. So yeah, overall, I would say the Laserdisc is a pretty awesome format, and it introduced a lot of features that are still used today in DVD and Blu-ray. Nowadays, these things are extremely dirt cheap on eBay. You can still get a player, like mine for around $30. Some of the higher end players are a lot more expensive though, the ones that play both sides automatically for you or have DVD players in them. Those are usually a couple $100, but just a standard Laserdisc player. I mean, even one with like a CD player built in is usually around 30 or $40. And yeah, they're huge. I mean, that's basically the main drawback is just finding space to store them. And they are outdated, but I find it cool just to watch some of the old 80s and 90s movies on here. And then you can even skip through the FBI warnings at the beginning, so that's pretty awesome. Plus, guys, there are some DVDs that are extremely hard to get. They had a low production run, and usually you can get those movies on Laserdisc. Or there's just movies that weren't released on DVD, and they were only released on Laserdisc and VHS. And so that's the best way to watch them. These are much better than VHS, I think. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this look back on the Laserdisc format. And I hope I convinced some of you guys to start getting into this. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, thumbs up if you liked it. And we'll see you next time.